Welcome to another interesting edition of Tech Trends, your number one tech show on national television. Our tech tips is on how to recover deleted files on your Android phone. Our mobile app of the week is Gidimo. And finally, we have a cool gift for you on our giveaway segment. This is Tech Trends, and I am Chukwuemeka Agbata.
Facebook founder and chief executive officer Mark Zukerberg made his first unannounced trip to meet with developers and local businesses in Nigeria, which also doubles as his first visit to sub-Saharan Africa. Zuckerberg's arrival came as a surprise to everyone, as his visit to Nigeria was kept as top secret due to security reasons.
And in particular,
his first stop was at the country capital tech enclave of Yaba, where tech startups are rooted and creating serious vibration in the Africa region. Zuckerberg plans to make the social networking site load quickly for people all over the world, no matter the internet service they use, as well as provide better support to tech development and entrepreneurship across Africa.
60 million businesses have pages across the world. There's nothing like that that's ever happened in the history of the world, where 60 million businesses use some platform for free to reach their customers, right? So that's something that, a big part of our mission is giving folks who are just getting started the same tools that traditionally only bigger companies would have had access to, right? So there was a time when, you had to, only a bigger company could build an app and get on the phone, and, now, anyone can be in the most used app, right, in Newsfeed, if people connect with you. There was a time when only big companies could afford to do the kind of analytics that now is free, right, on these services. And that's, I think, one of the big things. It levels the playing field and makes it so that talented people anywhere can build.
In June, his philanthropy venture made its first major investment, leading a funding round in a startup that trains and recruits software developers in Africa. As of March this year, Facebook had hit over 1.65 billion monthly active users, out of which 7.1 million people are daily users from Nigeria, making the country Africa's biggest user of the social media platform. Zuckerberg later held a closed-door meeting with the Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari in Abuja, the Capital Territory. He was seen going into the presidential villa and then left an hour later. Details of the meeting were not disclosed to journalists. Apple Incorporated issued a patch to fix a dangerous security hole in iPhones and iPads after researchers discovered that a prominent United Arab Emirates dissident's phone had been targeted with a previously unknown method of hacking. The attack on the dissident, Ahmed Mansour, used a text message that invited him to click on a web link. Instead of clicking, he forwarded the message to researchers at the University of Toronto's Citizen Lab. Experts there worked with security company Lookout and determined that the link would have installed a program taking advantage of a flaw that Apple and others were not aware of. The researchers alerted Apple, which developed a fix and distributed it as an automatic update to iPhone 6 owners. Apple spokesman Fred Sainz confirmed that the company had issued a patch after being contracted by researchers about the issue. The Citizen Lab team attributed the attack software to a private seller of monitoring systems, NSO Group, an Israeli company that makes software for governments which can secretly target a user's mobile phone and gather information from it. Such tools, known as remote exploits, cost as much as $1 million. An attack on a fully patched current model iPhone 6 had not been detected before, though they had been considered possible for major governments, which generally have more surveillance resources at their disposal. In other news, EU antitrust regulators ordered Apple to pay up to €13 billion in taxes to the Irish government after ruling that a special scheme to route profits through Ireland was illegal state aid. The massive sum, some 40 times bigger than the previous demand by the European Commission to accompany in such a case, could be reduced if other countries sought more tax themselves from the U.S. tech giant. The U.S. Treasury Secretary Jack Lew asserted that the European Union order requiring Apple to pay Ireland €13 billion in unpaid taxes was part of a pattern which seemed to target American businesses rather than other international firms.
Our concern with the European Commission action is that it is using a state aid theory to make tax law. It is doing it in a way that is retroactive and that overrides national tax law authority, in our view. And we think that it undermines the environment in Europe for international business because it creates uncertainty that ultimately will not be good for the European economy. As the head of the U.S. tax agency, I've been concerned that it reflects an attempt to reach into the U.S. tax base to tax income that ought to be taxed in the United States. And I understand the frustration that tax reform in the United States has been slow to accomplish. We've been working very hard for the last 4 years to press forward on this, and I actually believe we've made progress and that there's a growing bipartisan consensus on how to deal with tax reform in a way that will enable us to reach overseas income. What I don't think is right is for these issues to be addressed in a way that that undermines the spirit of economic cooperation and that is inconsistent with well-established principles of tax law. It's not a difference that we want to get at income that has gone without taxation because of loopholes in the tax laws.
Apple in Ireland plans to appeal the EU decision, but some analysts say the ruling, if upheld, could change the calculus that has kept U.S. corporate money overseas if it means higher taxes in low-tax European countries like Ireland. Japanese space race team Hakuto unveils its lunar rover design to participate in next year's Google-sponsored moon competition. At 58 centimeters long and 36 centimeters high, the prototype weighs only 4 kilograms. The weight is kept down by using the latest carbon fiber material typically used for aircraft. Each wheel is equipped with motors, allowing for smooth movement on the moon's surface. Google launched its Lunar X Prize competition in 2007 to encourage space entrepreneurs to create a new era of affordable access to the moon. The competition, which will be held next year, involves landing a privately funded rover on the moon, which should then travel 500 meters and transmit high-definition video and images. The first team to successfully complete the mission will scoop the $20 million prize. Hakuto is the only team participating from Japan and was formed in early 2008 by a group of experienced space professionals. Hakuto, which means white rabbit, took its name from a rabbit character in Japanese mythology that lives on the moon. The race will feature 16 teams from countries including Israel, the United States, Italy, Malaysia, Japan, Germany, Hungary, Brazil, Canada, Chile, and India. Hakuto will begin its test run in September at a desert in Tottori Prefecture, south of Japan, where the ground closely resembles the lunar surface.